this cut into bicep, see what the hand is, sweep that in. Cut, inside, now, just want to mix it out. So here, counter this. Hello, I'm Oscar Dennis Ocampo of the Senator Wally Collie System. On my 2 YouTube channels, I've been getting a lot of questions in regards to me having the right hand blade against someone who's left-handed. So today's learning session is going to be against the left-handed blade. So your question now is, how do I end up using with my blade with the right hand against a left-handed attacker? Nothing really changes. In the other videos that I've sent, it does tell you how to counter off the right. But a lot of you, again, have been very interested in how do I counter someone who's left-handed, which is going to keep it very, very simplistic. One way, we're going to take it from the number 1 strike. One of the most common strikes is going to be the number 1 strike, the number 2 strike, and most likely the thrust out in the street. So we want to make sure we answer some of those questions in regards. We're going to go ahead and answer the number 1 strike from here. 3 basic moves that you can basically do. As you know, in my system, I teach based upon defanging the snake. So the threat isn't really the person, the threat is really the hand that holds the blade. So I want to make sure I counter that first. So in my defensive position, when he delivers that, one of my first movements is just use it with my right hand. It's the closest weapon to his weapon, so I want to go ahead and answer that. I want to do my tendon termination. So basically, when I counter the blade, cut, go to the leg, exit out from there. So taking it again from here, defensive blade, there's my cut from here. Control the blade, make the cut. So I'm making a tricep into the leg, exit out from here. Okay, because my goal is to survive and to go home. So once again, nice and slow. Blade comes, enter. From this position here, I'm making the cut from here. As I circle it, make the cut. Notice I go here to the forearm, okay? Here, circle back again, and then into the leg. So I go tricep. So I go forearm from here, forearm, control the blade, make the cut, okay? That's one skill. Make sure you practice that. From another point of view, from this side, strike again comes, I'm going to answer with my blade. Closest hand, closest target. So once I come from here, circle, I make that check, make this cut with the tricep. From here, I go ahead and make my cut inside the leg, and then I exit. Alright, so one more time from here. Closest target, passing that from here. Once I pass, I check the hand. Once I check the hand, cut it down to the tricep, inside, and then make sure I exit that. Another skill that you can use is what we call the biome or the umbrella, especially with the person who's left-handed against my right hand. So from this position here, it's basically going to look like this. That strike comes. Here's my umbrella, we call it. From here, I make the cut. So what you're seeing is I'm making a cut on the inside from here. Once I cut, nothing changes, everything's the same. Alright, once again, this position, biome off this. Biome is the cut, this hand's over, make the cut here. That's one cut. Cut straight down as I control, inside thrust, and then rip towards the tendon. Alright, one more time. First motion from here, stepping back, I answer it. Protecting, I'm always on to the outside. Once I cut that, from here, exit out. That's one skill. Let's now take a look at it from the other side. From another point of view, same thing, umbrella or the biome motion from here. Once I'm from this position, I make this cut. Come back to the tricep, control the blade, exit out from here. Again, stepping, getting out the way. I'm over here to this side. I don't want to be inside from here. Come over here to the outside, cut, cut, thrust it, slash it from there, and then exit out.
That's
The
one
next
skill.
counter is working off the inside. Well, making sure that when I work off the inside, I've got to make sure that I get to the outside immediately. So this one is going to take out the bicep tendon. When this strike comes in, I'm out here. Once I come here, I make this cut towards the bicep. What I do have to be careful about is that hand from here. That's why I'm making my space. So once I cut here, notice how this hand is down. Once I do that, I sweep that onto the outside. From here, jab, and then make my slash. Once again, inside bicep from here, making space from here. Once I make this cut towards a bicep, see where my hand is, sweep that there, make the cut inside, and then exit off. Now from a different point of view. Now counter number 3, from a different point of view, attacking the bicep. Coming in, inside from there. So once I'm here, I'm making this cut from the bicep. Notice again how my hand is down. Once my hand's down, cut past this, make some clearance. Come back to the tricep, cut that, thrust, and then slash, and then making sure I exit out. All right? Another time, one more. From here, pass it, make the cut. This protects me from here, cut, 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 and then exit out. Those are 3 basic counters against me having the right hand and the attacker being left-handed from that number 1 strike. Now we're working off the counter from the number 2 strike, person left-handed. One basic simple skill that you want to do. That number 2 is coming towards this direction from here. So all I'm going to make sure I do is I exit out towards the outside. So when I exit out here, counter this, make the cut, and then exit again. So 2 basic movements. From here, chokes that up, here. I stop it here, I stop the blade here, make the cut on the tricep, thrust, slash, and then getting out. That's one skill against the number 2 strike. From another point of view, making sure that from that number 2 strike, coming from here, here's my protection, here's my blade, cut down, and then exit out. Once again, he's coming with the 2, I stop, the cut is here on the tricep, cut on the tricep, jam, push that out, and then make my cut, and then exit out. The next one I'm going to answer now is coming from the number 5. The next skill against a left-hander who wants to thrust, me being the right-handed, basically we're going to answer here from the number 5. 2 basic ones that you can utilize. Again, there are many, but here I'm going to emphasize 2. One being the thrust coming to my center line. He's stepping in. Once he steps in, this is what I got to protect from. So once he steps in, I'm going to take my blade and counter that blade. Once I counter the blade, from here outside, cut, nothing changes, make my exit from here. Once again, from here, counter off the blade. Counter, reinforce with my hand. Cut with the tricep, back down. One more time. Countering from the outside, thrust comes. Cut, cut here, exit. That is one skill from the thrust. Now I'm going to show you from a different point of view. From this point of view, from here, same thing. From the number 5, counter off the blade first. Now here I'm making this cut. Once I'm making the cut, reinforce the protection, cut off the tricep, so I come down from here and then exit out again as I make my cut. Once again, from here, delivering, counter that. Cut, here, 3 basic movements. One more time. 1, 2, 3. End it up, knee, slash that off. Basic strikes, basic counters from the number 5. Now we'll take a look at one more. The last one is a counter from the number 5. We have thrusts and there are slashes. This one's what I call a fillet. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to stop this blade with my blade. He comes in, I stop the blade. Once I stop the blade, I reinforce. Once I stop the blade, I'm going to ride my blade straight up his arm. Once I ride that straight arm, cut, and then cut from here. So a fillet, cut, thrust, and then I slash. So one more time from here, I cut. Here's my stop with the blade, I ride it up into the cut to the tricep, into the knee, and then back again. One more time from that point. Exiting out, I stop the blade, ride it. Tricep cut, back of the knee, and then exit out. Now we're going to take a look at it from a different point of view. From a different point of view, from the number 5, stepping in, propel back, exit towards here. Once I stop him, I have control, ride my blade up into the tricep cut, back the knee, exit out from there. One more time from here, I see the blade, stopping the blade, ride it, cut again. One more time. I'm here, stop the blade. I gotta hollow out so I don't get thrusted. From here, ride it into the cut, into the knee, and exit out. Those are basic strikes against the left-handed person using the blade in my right hand. From basic angles, number 1, number 2, and the number 5 thrust. There are many variations. I want to keep it simple so you guys can make sure you practice. Continue to visit my YouTube channels on Evade the Blade 55 and on my other channels of Filipino Educator. If you have any questions, please send it to me via YouTube. The key thing is to make sure you practice every single day. If you practice, you get it. If you don't, you won't. See you soon.